All right, let's take a running jump at this one. I'm going to start off by saying if all country western music sounded like the intro, I would listen to a lot more of it. I really like that music. This is going to be another fairly quick, quicker than usual podcast. I'm going to be reviewing email that I got. I don't know, 13, 15 emails already, and almost every single one of them was good. Asked good questions. Some of them overlapped each other, the same questions, but it was all decent questions. The only one I got to really call out on, I'm just going to call him PT. PT sounded more interested in grilling naked than prepping. I put that in there about my lawyer, so divulge that I can walk around the house naked anytime I want and drink your beer and all that stuff. Well, PT took it a step farther, and I commend you. I think it's great if you want to grill naked, go for it. I realize I asked for this when I made the joke about my lawyer telling me I had to divulge a bit about walking around nude, but for the record, PT, I must respectfully decline the offer. Bon appetit. You do you, bro. Just don't get too close to the grill. One of the biggest topics the most rollover, crossover, whatever you want to call it, and this is the kind of email I want to get. This is what I want people to be asking about. I'll throw out a basic overview of something, and then if you have questions, we'll go back and tear it up. This is all pretty good stuff, and I have not been sleeping much, so rather than trying to type something new up, I grabbed all the emails I got and I started doing, combining them into one the best I can. Again, I'm pretty tired, but I want to do this one. The first one, the question, when is the time to start Gray Man? Like if you're watching a social situation, society unrest, truckers and trains go on strike, no products going to the grocery store, when do you step into that Gray Man mode? If you have to ask, you're already too late. You should transition into full Gray Man mode immediately when things don't seem right. Don't wait. And what's somebody going to do? Get yelled at you for wearing just a plain blue t-shirt? Sorry, that was a yawn. The only thing you're going to change, basically, is the clothing you're wearing, and you're going to start paying attention to what's going on around you. You're going to start reading the room everywhere you go, work, home, grocery store, wherever. You should have some indication as to when this is going to step off and get worse. It's really not a big sacrifice, and you really don't have to do anything differently. The only thing you're doing is you're trying to blend in more with crowds and people. You want to be nondescript. You want to walk out of a building past security, and 2 minutes later, the security manager comes down and says, how many people have gone through the building? And he says, well, it's just one so far. And when they ask for a description, they shouldn't be able to provide a description of you. That's how bland you should be. Bland will elude descriptions. You got some stupid shit on there, some Hello Kitty shit on there, some sparkles on there, whatever. You're going to be remembered. So remember what I said. You don't make eye contact. If they say anything, look at them and say good morning, good afternoon, good night, whatever. But don't do anything out of the ordinary. Just think it through. Don't get crazy with it. All right. One of the other questions I was asked was the EDC. Man, I just went over this a little while ago. I prefer to have my EDC bag with me. If you have it with you, it becomes normal to be carrying one if you do it enough. I use shit out of my bag all the time. I can't tell you how many times I was actually walking through somewhere and I had my tactical pen in my hand inside the bag so I could draw it out quick if I had to. If you don't know what a tactical pen is, it is a solid aluminum. Some of them have the ink thing in them, but it's usually a solid aluminum pen that comes to a point, and you can wear it on your shirt pocket. You know, if you're one of those pocket protector kinds of people, you can wear it in there. It doesn't come across as anything threatening until you pull it out. You have your thumb on it, usually on the crown, and now you got something to jab and stab with. I have found really, really good ones on different web pages, and most of them are under $15. If you want information on it, email me. I'll get you the information. I was asked if I actually keep extra clothing, shoes, and boots in my car. Well, it's my truck to begin with. But yes, I do. I keep a weather-applicable set of clothing to include boots in my truck at all times. They don't take up that much room, and why wouldn't you? I mean, what is your excuse for not taking that stuff with you and having it in your car? I think you're just being lazy if you're not doing these things, because they're very simple and they're all common sense. If you think it's surrendering some kind of freedom or surrendering to the man taking over or AI taking over, you're wrong. You should have them in your truck at all times. You never know. You just don't know. So, yes, I have at the minimum extra clothing, a full set of clothing, including socks, shoes and boots in my car, shoes and or boots in my car. My summer stuff is more like combat-looking sneakers, to be honest with you, and my winter stuff is all insulated Sorel. I love it. The next question, and these are some really good questions. You guys put me back a step. How do you know what to pack in detail? Not whatever, you gotta throw some Band-Aids in there or something, but they want to know. Four people want to know in detail what goes into an EDC pack. Well, I would go, everybody that talks about my pack being too big usually ends up asking me for something that I'm carrying in the pack because they don't have it in theirs. I might scale down a little bit. I'm not sure. But right now, I'm very happy with the pack that I have. Clothing doesn't usually go in an EDC bag. That's in a separate way, separate part of my truck. The bag is your bag. You should have what you need in it. You're not going to need the same things I'm going to need probably. I don't pack a weapon in my EDC bag so much. Sometimes I do. If I'm wearing it on the front, I might put my weapon in the bag. But as a rule of thumb, if I get out of the truck and all I have is my EDC bag, which is very rare, that's all I have. And a shit hits a fan situation, you can bet that the weapon system's going to be on my hip, not in the bag. But under normal circumstances, I walk around with my Glock 19 in it at all times. I've never been stopped. Nothing. So, just keep in mind, the bigger the bag, the more you're going to stand out, especially if you don't look comfortable with it or it looks like it's overstuffed. Now, I said in earlier podcasts what I keep in mind, and that still leaves room at the top. I really don't want to be telling you what to need what you need because I do not know your specific situation. I'm not really comfortable telling you because if I say you need A, B, C, and D, shit, it's a fan and you need a F and a G, it's my fault according to, the law of the land. I never told you to pack the F and the G. So you just think about it. You need flashlight. You should have a small flashlight. Definitely protein bar or something like that. Maybe a bottle of water. I have everything in mine. I have the fire starting stuff. I have definitely have stuff to read. I have a thumb drive with all my important paperwork scanned on it. I have. Oh man, don't make me go up and look at it. One of the things that you should have, another one of the things that you should have, and I'm going to tell you this is one I can't recommend enough. If you have daily medication, prescription medication, I have too. It's a stupid thing, but you should have some of that in your pack. Oh man, that's 2 yawns. You should always have prescription medication on you. and it has to be packed. Listen, this is coming from former law enforcement. It should be in the bottle specifically for that medication. Don't be putting, oxycodone in a bottle that's for a muscle relaxer or for stuff for headaches. If it's labeled wrong, you can get in a lot of trouble for that. So keep it in the right jars, but don't be like sticking everything in one jar. That's a really bad idea. This is the part that contradicts the whole 3-day or the EDC bag rule. I recommend a week's worth of medication in your bag at all times. Too much probably, but I'm recommending at least a week's worth. I have a week's worth in my EDC, and I have a week's worth in my get-home bag. Then, oh wait, I got an email. Hold on a second. It's from PT. Hold on. PT says any prepper would work for grilling nude, and he points out that it was no way indicating that it had to be me. Well, would it take me down a peg, PT? I thought I was something else there for a minute. Okay, so you guys can go grill naked with PT. Go for it. All right, another question is how much room should be allowed for first aid kits in both the EDC and the get-home bag? This is where I feel my choice in size of an EDC bag pays off. I have a very comprehensive first aid kit in my EDC bag. I can handle pretty much anything from a sucking chest wound on down with what I have in my EDC bag. Now, if you're not trained for that, for intubation or, vented patches or anything like that, which I don't get vented patches, but if you're not trained for it, don't carry it. It's not one of those things where you're going to say, is there a doctor in the house? And the guy's going to jump over the table like O.J. Simpson and say, I'm here, ta-da, let's do this. It doesn't work like that. Basic first aid, pressure dressings. I have the non-vented chest patches for sucking chest wounds. You do have to remember, I'm not even going to go into first aid right now. Carry what you feel qualified to use. Don't carry anything that if you look at it, you don't even know what the hell it is. Carry stuff you know how to use. And if you don't know how to use anything, put some Band-Aids and some aspirin in a bag and you're done with it. If you take a first aid course, then you carry more shit. It's not that hard. Don't make it harder than it has to be. Now my get-home bag, I have a trauma bag inside there. I can handle anything from jagged flesh wounds, compound fractures. I don't have an AED or anything, but I'm pretty well trained in what to do in the case of an MVA or something like that. I can work on a patient, keep them alive until we're able to transport. The one thing I've never seen in anybody's bag, and I always give everybody hell for, is a dental emergency kit and also something for an eye injury. It just never surprises me how many people don't know what to do with an eye injury or how many people think they're going to have perfect teeth for the rest of their life. But I tell you something, if you pop a filling out there in the middle of nowhere and you got another day and a half to walk and you're breathing hard across that tooth that your filling popped out of, and you got to, like I said, breathe across that tooth all the way home for another day, that's a suck right there. It's a whole lot of suck. Next thing, and I think 2 people asked this, why do I need a get-home bag if I'm only going to work and coming home? It's a good question, but I'm going to be responding with another question. Do you only ever use your vehicle to go to and from work? You don't just use that vehicle for going to work. Don't even tell me you got a dedicated work vehicle. And if you do, you still use it to go fishing and hunting. We all did. So even if it's a company vehicle, we use them to go fishing and hunting. So your get-home bag should be with you in the car. Like I have a trauma bag in mine. I'm ready for pretty much anything that happens with people in my mag and myself. So that's just the best information I can give you. You should have your EDC. You don't know. I could carry my EDC anywhere I go and nobody's going to think anything of it. And I got enough shit in there to start a small war if I had to. So just keep that in mind. And by the way, I will tell you, my get-home bag, that, like I think I said something right before, the weapon system is a permanent in my get home bag. My EDC bag, I do carry a smaller pew pew in there, but I'll tell you, my get home bag is used more than anything else, I think. For the record, you don't need a bag at all. This podcast is not about directions. It's not to sell gear, and it's not to create paranoid preppers. This is only to provide guidance. It's more for people starting out. It's also for people that have been doing this for a long time. We all miss things when prepping. Hopefully this provides ideas and possibly even corrections on what you're packing right now. I wouldn't tell you, if you've been carrying a 3-day, get home bag for 2 or more years, or if you've had the same EDC for, 2 to 3 years, and you're comfortable with it, leave it the way it is. If you're just getting into this, don't forget what you put in there. Tomorrow you might say, I don't need it. So take it the fuck out. Don't leave it in there if you don't need it. I have a nice setup where I can grab right off the shelf whatever I want in my bag, switch it out in a minute, because everything on my shelves are laid out, and I know where everything's at, and I can make it weather applicable in another 3 to 5 minutes if I have to. Not everybody has that luxury. Not everybody has that much equipment, but you're going to get there. You just don't have it now. So don't think that whatever you put in there the first time is what has to stay in there. And you'd be surprised how many people get locked into this bullshit where they throw stuff in there. They go crazy when they first start out, and then they don't touch it for a year or two. And then for the life of God, they can't tell you what's in that bag. They're totally confused. Or you have these guys that go and buy that $275 or that $400 pack that's all set up for Armageddon. And you can ask them 3 months, 5 months, 6 months after they get it, what's in the bag, and they'll be like, I don't want to open it, it's new, I don't want to. But what's in there? They can't tell you what is in there. They don't know what's in there because they've never used the equipment. If you're going to be putting a bag together and it's involving any kind of tactical movement or tactical preparations, this is a good time to learn how to seat a pack on your back and make sure it's snug. So all you got to do if you got to throw it on is pull 2 straps and you're good to go. You're off for the fight. If there's such a thing as too much stuff. My whole philosophy is I'd rather be looking at it than looking for it. If it's not in the bag, if you're missing something that's mission critical and it's not in the bag, you're going to have to do something about it. You're going to have to stop whatever you were doing. You're going to have to go somewhere and get it. I don't know how much money you're going to carry in your bag. I think earlier I said $50 to $100 in an EDC bag in small bills, and then in the get-home bag I'd probably have about $250, $300 in there. And if you don't have that, you don't have it. Don't stress it. It's nothing I'm saying here is set in concrete. You do you. Don't worry about what I'm doing. I'm just trying to give suggestions. I mean, hell, PT's out there grilling naked with a bunch of his friends. Good for him, man. He's doing PT. He's doing his job. He's doing what he needs to do to be himself. He's true to himself. Don't be locked into having to pack anything I say. Only if it feels right and if you can carry it. Like if I tell you to carry an M2 50 cal, a Browning 50 caliber, you're not going to carry it. Not many people can. It's a heavy son of a bitch. But if I tell you to pack a small sewing kit in your bag, that might be something you want to think about. That's something that you can use. I might tell you to pack some moleskin in there for your feet. If you don't know what that is, write me. I will tell you. But if you don't know what moleskin is and you don't have it in your pack, you're doing yourself a disservice. They got some new stuff out there that's absolutely incredible. I wish I would have had it when I was in the Marines. So think about your bags. Again, EDC, get home bag. It's just the EDC is just a small bag you carry around. It might even be your school backpack that you carry your books and shit in. I don't know. I don't even care. And the 3-day pack, that's when you think a little bit more like I got to go between here and there, and there's no fresh water or running water. I got to cross this Great Divide or something like that. Oh, maybe you want to be carrying more water. Maybe a really good water filter. Whereas if you're just going to be walking in the city and everything to get home, maybe pack a water bottle. You know, how long is it going to take you to walk home? If it's going to take you, 3 hours to walk home, don't be panicking about water. But if you work somewhere, it's up in the mountains, it's down in the valley, and you're in the opposite direction, and you're either way high altitude for your home or way low altitude, and you're going to have to travel a greater distance, then you're going to want to pack more water. It's all common sense. I hope this helps. I'm more than happy to answer questions. If I didn't answer them to the extent you wanted them answered, ask for clarification. But I don't want to keep doing this get home bag and EDC bag. We've beat those horses enough. Listen to the older podcasts. Don't just be writing out questions because you don't know what to do. Listen to the older podcasts that I put out. If I still didn't answer it, I'm happy to answer it if you want to write me. You know the deal. Watch your six. Peace out.